The 2025 House of Councillors election has sent ripples through Japan's political landscape, not only due to its outcomes but because of the unexpectedly high voter turnout. One of the first to react with surprise and reflection was Shiro Tazaki, a senior political strategist and former advisor to multiple cabinet members. The surge in voter turnout shows that politics has finally touched the people's skin, Tazaki remarked, speaking at a post-election policy forum in Tokyo. Japan, often characterized by political apathy especially among young voters, witnessed a notable change in the electorate's behavior. The turnout rate reached nearly 59%, up more than 6 percentage points from the previous election. For many observers like Tazaki, this signaled a turning point in Japan's civic consciousness. Tazaki's initial reaction: "I didn't expect this." During the live broadcast of the election results, Shiro Tazaki appeared on a political analysis panel on NHK. When preliminary data indicated a significant rise in voter numbers, Tazaki visibly raised his eyebrows. "I didn't expect this kind of engagement," he admitted on air. "I thought the trend of political disinterest, especially among those in their 20s and 30s, would continue. But I underestimated the impact of issues that directly affect everyday life." This honest moment resonated with viewers, sparking online debates and trending hashtags like #TazakiSurprised and #DailyLifePolitics on X, formerly Twitter. What triggered the shift? According to Tazaki, the key to this year's high turnout lies in the election's central themes. Unlike previous campaigns that focused on abstract policies or diplomatic issues, this election cycle brought personal struggles and anxieties to the forefront: cost of living, social security, child care, housing affordability, and elder care reform. "These are not glamorous issues," Tazaki explained. "But they're issues you encounter the moment you wake up, go to work, take care of a child, or worry about your aging parents. When politics addresses these things, people start paying attention." One particular trigger, Tazaki pointed out, was the ongoing debate on medical insurance premiums, which had seen proposals for major restructuring. The government's push to increase co-payments for certain age groups had angered a broad swath of voters. "Suddenly, people realized their wallets were at stake," Tazaki said. Generational mobilization. The youth surge. Perhaps the most surprising aspect of the turnout was the increase among young voters. While traditionally the least engaged, voters under 35 saw a turnout jump of nearly 10%, according to preliminary breakdowns by the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications. This demographic had been especially vocal about housing costs, irregular employment, and the lack of support for working families. Tazaki acknowledged the role social media and new platforms played in this awakening. They weren't influenced by party manifestos or televised debates, he noted. They were moved by short, emotional videos on platforms like TikTok and YouTube, many of which explained how specific policies affect rent, food prices, or daycare availability. He also credited grassroots campaigns led by student groups and digital influencers, which made politics feel more approachable. The role of localized campaigns. Another factor Tazaki emphasized was the hyper-local focus many candidates adopted. Instead of broad ideological battles, candidates competed to address specific regional concerns, whether it was revitalizing a local shopping street or preserving municipal hospitals. "This bottom-up approach worked wonders," said Tazaki. "When people saw their own neighborhood in a candidate's speech, it suddenly felt real. It's not Tokyo versus the countryside anymore, it's about the community." Media's role, from detached to engaged. Tazaki also highlighted a shift in how traditional media approached election coverage this year. TV news and newspapers made a deliberate effort to humanize the issues, he said. For example, a series by the Asahi Shimbun called "My Vote, My Life" profiled everyday citizens and their decision-making process. Similarly, NHK ran a special feature titled "One Ballot, One Life" that illustrated how policies affect ordinary people. "These weren't just policy breakdowns, they were emotional stories," Tazaki commented. "And those stories connected with people in a way charts never could." The COVID aftereffect, lingering lessons. Though the pandemic has receded, Tazaki believes its psychological effects still linger, contributing to the political reawakening. "The pandemic made people realize the fragility of their daily lives," he said. Government decisions suddenly had life and death consequences. People became more aware of who's making those decisions and how. This awareness, according to Tazaki, hasn't disappeared even as normalcy returns. If anything, it's led to a deeper scrutiny of leadership and governance. Political parties rethink strategy. Following the election, both ruling and opposition parties have begun reassessing their outreach tactics. The Liberal Democratic Party (LDP), though still dominant, suffered losses in key urban districts where younger voters turned out in droves. Opposition parties like the Constitutional Democratic Party and the Democratic Party for the People gained traction by focusing on daily life issues. Tazaki noted, parties can no longer rely on ideological loyalty. They need to show relevance to people's lives, not just their political agenda. A long-term shift or a one-time spike. Despite the encouraging numbers, some analysts question whether this high turnout marks a lasting change. Tazaki remains cautiously optimistic. It depends on whether politicians keep this connection alive, he said. If they go back to distant speeches and empty promises, this momentum will fade. But if they keep listening and responding to the daily lives of citizens, then yes, this could be a turning point. He added, civic engagement is like a plant. It needs regular care. Water it with attention and honesty, and it'll grow. Looking ahead, what Tazaki recommends. Tazaki urged parties to take this voter feedback seriously.